Okay, we got another company out there that trying to copy our light, so of course we have to make another video. This light right here, newest light, fresh out of China. Its obvious problems is its ability to fall apart. You have a gland nut right here that has plastic inside of it. Water can enter there. Water can enter this seal right here. It's just a plastic seal. This gland nut screws into that. Then you have this this main body. Then you have another seal where this lid screws on, this cap screws on. Then you have another seal right here. And then you have the glass little lens. Not tempered glass, just glass. So of course when you compare it to our light, there are no seals, completely encapsulated, solid one-piece billet construction, completely filled with a particular epoxy all the way into the back. There is no plastic, there is no seals, there is no nothing anywhere. Water cannot get into this thing. If there was a greater rating than IP68, this would have it. This particular light was shipped to us, and it has we bought it to check it out, you know, because of course like other companies out there, we're the rule of measurement, so they got to compare everything to us. So you have similar in design. This is a little bit larger. The biggest effects of this thing, of course it's pretty looking, and they all start out that way. This is 100% purely made in China, but I wanted to point out something, or multiple things. What you have here is a 22 gauge wire. Of course this is all one piece from this point to the end. 22 gauge wire. 22 gauge wire has a rating, an amperage rating allowable to 0.92 amps. So not even 1 amp. Okay, so you have a light supposedly that they say is 10,000 lumens, which is, you know, hysterical. In this case, if this were a 10,000 lumen light, it would need 16 gauge wire, which just so happens to be exactly what we have, 16 gauge 2-core wire. This is a 22 gauge 2-core wire. Once again, the same size wire that we use on our 1,000 lumen lights. This is way too small for the validity of their claims. If this light had the ability to produce 10,000 lumens, this wire would burn in half like a fuse. It would disappear. So another thing they copied on us is our design, where you get a screwdriver. Of course these things are smooth bore. Screwdriver inserts through ours, and you tighten it up. Tighten it up. You know, have the wires running through the garbage drain. Tighten it up, and it's secure. This is a 100% good deal here. I mean, it's easy to deal with. Regular Phillips screwdriver, you know, tapered 1/2 inch MPT thread. So that, I guess the Chinese thought it was a good idea to make this light and try to copy our design. The only problem is you can't stick a screwdriver through it. And they say on their website, the guy who sells these and buys them from China, he says, tighten it up with a screwdriver. Well, that's as far as the screwdrivers are going in there. It's about a 3/8 hole maybe. So of course you're going to destroy this thing trying to tighten it up, and weeble wobbles around, which, you know, different size screwdriver get it done, but regardless you can't insert that screwdriver. This is maybe 3/8. So that's a bad design. Maybe when they copy it next time they'll get that better. But anyway, and then you have multiple little 1-watt LEDs in there. And as far as, once again, the finish on this is pretty. But let me show you what happens to this pretty finish. You have, this is all cast aluminum, and the reason I know is because we've dealt with these before. You know, different design, but the same people that make it. So this is a cast aluminum inside here, and then they come up with this concoction that it's titanium alloy. Well, all this is a gold chrome plating, and that's it. Okay. Well, what happens is, if you destroy this plating, and a lot of guys will know this, a lot of men know this, who play with car parts and chrome. You nick chrome and it starts peeling off. And what happens is, as soon as you screw this into your garboard, I don't care what it's made out of, bronze, aluminum, stainless steel, as soon as you screw brass, as soon as you screw this in, it's going to destroy, or it's going to flake off or peel off or jack up these threads. So once you've messed up the plating starts peeling away, looking just like this. Okay? Some of the stuff out of the way so you can see this better. This is the same, this is exactly what this light looked like when it was new. When this light was new, it was just exactly shiny, pretty trinket like this with a glass lens. So people see these all over the internet. This is another Chinese product. So what happens when you mess up your chrome plating, it just starts flaking off like this in your hand. And everything you see that's chrome plated, and they're from China, because no American's going to do this, I would hope. Cast aluminum underneath this. Look at these threads. I've used this light at a different video before, and it's another one right there too. It's exactly like this one. This was on a boat in Hawaii for, I think he said 2 days. Nicked it up. You nick it anywhere. Let's just say 2 weeks. 2 weeks or 2 days. Regardless. This is what happens. You nick the plating, which will happen as soon as you screw it in, and it just starts peeling away, slowly but surely. And this one, I don't know why it started peeling away there. Probably used a wrench on it to tighten it up, and as soon as you do that, there you go. And this kind of jumps back to this. As soon as you try to tighten this thing up, you're going to nick that chrome plating, and this light will look like that. Okay, that's all there is to that. Here's another one. Just say this is some kind of fluke. Okay, here it is again. This is a little bit better shape. Of course, it's flaking. And where is it flaking off? Right from the threads, and it starts peeling away. Just like a rose or a leaf, I guess you'd say, or an onion, peeling away the layers. Get this junk out of here. Now, you have glass, which will break. And when it breaks, water gets in there. And what the biggest thing is, let's just say it doesn't break. Okay, it's going to fog up. And it's not going to be very effective. And of course, when the fog reaches the circuit board that's inside there, it's going to quit working. So the other thing I think is kind of cool, so we know this is straight out of China, this light right here. Check this out. Of course, look at this. Attention, no loosing the binding wire. No loosing the binding wire before installing the light. Okay. I don't know what that means at all. And it also says main material 3/16 stainless steel. No, there's no stainless steel on that light anywhere. So what I thought was really interesting is, look at that right there. See if I can get something to point to it. Look at that right there. So it says IP67. So actually it's IP67, what that is, that's a property. Well, first of all, IP67, and it gets a Sharpie marker and turns that 7 into an 8. Actually, it's not even a Sharpie marker. Like a nice ink pen, I guess you say. There you can see where it's. There we go. Look at that. He turns his IP67 light into an IP68. Now, most people don't know what the differences are, so I'll tell you. IP67, IP is a rating, like an immersion rating. So an IP67, the 6 is the first number and really doesn't pertain in this case to lights. But 6 is basically on solid particles, which would be its protection against solid particles. Okay? Protection against solid particles being dust, dirt, mud. So the 6 on the IP67 in this case, unless you want to believe the Sharpie marker, IP67, the 7 and the 6 stands for, protecting it from dust. It's protected from dust. The 7, it means how many feet down or meters down, technically, that you can use this light. Well, IP67, which is what this light is rated at, can only be used for 3 meters, which is about 3.3 feet underwater for 30 minutes. So this light has the capabilities of being used underwater 3 feet deep for 30 minutes. And then based on that IP67 rating, is will start to leak. So just another Chinese product. Going back to ours, our wire, 16 gauge 2-core inside here. It says it everywhere. IP68, you can even put an IP68 regardless of rating. Our lights are above and beyond that. There's not a single seal on this thing anywhere. This is not a glass lens. This is solid epoxy. And here in a minute, I'm gonna make a kind of a cool video. I always thought about Megan, and we'll jump to that here in a second. But you get a true. You can get your whoever you want, tighten this sucker down. You're not gonna have a problem. And you know, back to this guy right here. Oh, I forgot one more thing. Back to this guy right here talking about, you know, don't use an aluminum light with this, that, and the other. You know, if you look at our other video that's 19 minutes long, I'm trying to keep this shorter, but it talks about that. You know, any kind of dissimilar metal is going to have, in salt water, is going to have a potential for dissimilar metal corrosion. If you leave your boat sitting in the water, salt water specifically, you know, things will corrode, all right? But the thing of it is, this right here is no different than this, okay? It's got a coating on it. Underneath there, it's aluminum. Let's say it's made out of whatever. If your garber's a different metal than what is on here, it's going to have a dissimilar metal. That's it, period. Dissimilar metal is dissimilar metal, all right? We have a product that we've used and tried for the past couple years. Works great. Tef gel. It's on our website. It's $14. If you use your boat in salt water, put it on these threads. Put it on your garber. Doesn't matter. This thing, we have an offshore series too, and it's so rock star. I'm not even putting it next to this thing. So our OSS offshore series VEGA, same light, solid bronze, not chrome plated titanium alloy or whatever concoction they think they're talking about. That's gold chrome plating. So use Tef gel if you're in salt water. If you're going to keep your boat in water, you know, all season long, sitting in salt water all season long, buy our offshore series light and use Tef gel as well. It's solid bronze, okay? So that being said, you know, one more thing too, just let you know, and all you're going to do is, all you can do in this case is take my word for it, and the fact that we sell more lights than anybody, and everybody's always copying us. So that's cool though. We have this light. The guy has one of these on his submarine that he made, and he's tested it already. Of course, I wouldn't want to be in it, and I wouldn't do it. But he's tested this light to 600 feet deep, and his last time I talked to him, he's been down 7-8 times, 600 feet deep. And this same exact light, 600 feet deep in salt water, this aluminum light still functions properly and works like a rock star, 600 feet below the water. So here in just a second, we're going to show you, I'm not going to beat this light to death, but the thing of it is, this light's more expensive than ours, significantly more expensive. Even if it wasn't, I suggest reading the fine print, reading the details, and especially the fact, if you really want to read something, you're not going to find it in this box, because this thing came with no instructions whatsoever. There's nothing in here. I would have loved to have seen some instructions. More than likely, he took them out because it probably has the company who made it in China and all their information on it, because that's how those Chinese guys roll, which is cool. You know, they got to get their stuff done, and this guy here in America that buys this light and resells it doesn't want everybody to see where he bought it in Japan and then got it over here and had his name engraved on the back of it. But anyway, if you want this light, here's what you're going to get really quick. Chrome plated, flaking off, falling apart, waste of time and money. Lifetime warranty on our light. Says 3-year warranty. That's going to be rough for that fella to deal with. Okay, this is one of our lights. I'm going to use it for its one that we used to test with. The wire's been cut off the back, but see how it's kind of jacked up. We're going to make a video, something I've been wanting to do for a while, to prove how these things stand up, letting you see how this thing does actually still work. Okay, here's our test dummy right here, fixing to show you how hardcore our lights are. This VEGA light, and they're all solid billet aluminum. This is the light I just tested. This is our VEGA light. We're gonna let him beat on this thing with an old school aluminum bat, So whenever you're ready, start beating on it. Oh, hit it on the street too. Hit it right there. No, I'm dropping. Bring it back over here. I'll mess the driveway up. Beat it on this. There you go. Drop it. Keep going. Alright, one more time. Alright. Walk over here with it. Alright, cool. Alright. Tiny dents. Jacked up the thread a little bit right there. Very little physical damage. Okay, here we are back with the same light again. It's dented just a tiny bit right there, and you see how hard he was hitting it. You can see, you follow the glare across the screen, across the face of that light, the epoxy, not even a dent in it. This is the same light we started with the ugly finish. This thing should light up. Same cut off wire. Alright.